Welcome to the midweek review where instructions go to die. This is the AGM H6 Android-based mobile phone that is dust, water and shock resistant. Let's see how it copes. Hey. Inside the pack you get a wall charger, cable, your phone, some instructions, a warranty and some stickers. Find your glory. It's a phone. I'm not going to find my glory with a phone. Okay, so these are the three things we need. Let's plug it in and find out a little bit more about it. First problem, it's got a US style plug on the USB converter, so I'm just going to have to use another one that I've got. Thankfully, most people have about 1 million of them now. So setting the phone up to charge, you come across the first obstacle, which is this little flappy panel down here that you have to plug your USB-C cable in. This little tab seems better than most of the little flappy panels that I've tried so far, and as you can see, it's now charging. It comes half charged, so let's go off and get a SIM card. By the time we come back, she should be ready to use. All right, so about an hour's gone by and our phone is now fully charged from the 50% that it came with, so we can get rid of our power supply. Now before we get started, we may as well go over the basic controls. On the right hand side you've got a volume control button up and down, and you've also got your on-off button. Now the on-off button has a thumbprint reader on it. Now I'm a little bit worried about that for an outdoor use phone, because often when I'm fencing or doing something that roughs my hands up, I go back inside and try and use my laptop's fingerprint identification button. It doesn't work, and I've got to put in my password. So I'm going to be interested to see if this has got the same problem with trying to turn the phone on and off. On the left hand side we've got a port for 2 SIM cards. Now I'm only going to use one, but you can actually stick a second physical card into this phone. Now that's really good if you're running a business and you want to get business calls and personal calls. I know of a lot of people who set up a dual SIM using the one card, and their carrier often gets glitchy and they miss messages and all that sort of thing. By being able to put 2 physical cards into this phone, hopefully that'll mean that it works as 2 phones a lot more smoothly than trying to get around it a digital way. And then you've also got this orange button here, which is a user-defined button, so you can set this for whatever you want. I'm going to set it for the camera. Right, let's get our SIM card into the phone, power it up, and see what it's like outside. Okay, so I've taken a few minutes and I've set the phone up. It was as simple as logging in with a Gmail account and I was underway. This phone also is compatible with iPhone, so if your last phone was an iPhone or if you had another Android, all you have to do is hold it near this phone and it somehow magically transfers over the info. The first thing I'm really interested in is, of course, the camera. Now this one has 3 cameras. It's got a 50 megapixel camera at the back. It's also got a 2 megapixel macro camera, so that might be really useful for taking close-up shots of pests and bugs if we can find any. And then it's got an 8 megapixel camera in the front of the screen for doing video calls and selfies and all that sort of thing. First off, 50 megapixel photo, bang. There we go, and I'll put the photo up on the screen here so you can see what the colours are like, unedited. Now we go into the More menu and we hit the macro button, and I'll try and get some nice close-ups of leaves here and see what we can record. Got a bit of a phosphorus deficiency in a few of these leaves, so I've got to fix that over winter. And we've had an amazing amount of rain. You know, we've had 120 mils in the last 10 days. So there's a few blemishes on the grapes as well, but nothing too serious. I can't find any insects. Where's my spiders? Here's a spider. Got one. Just got to shake them a bit. All in all, pretty good images with the camera. Some of the colours in the 50 megapixel seemed a little bit fake. You could probably fool around with that with some editing software. Probably not as good a quality processor as I'm used to with the iPhone. But remember, for under 300 bucks compared to the cost of an iPhone, you're getting 50 megapixels, don't complain. Now screen size, apparently that really matters. Here's the iPhone 12, here's the AGM H6, and you can see this one's got a much bigger screen. A little less clear out in bright light, I have to say, but that's probably my tired old eyes. There wasn't a lot in it in terms of clarity. The camera on this one was really impressive. I still think the iPhone 12 takes it in terms of color gradients and processing ability, but the 50 megapixel camera on this one showed a great amount of detail in the big shots, and having the macro lens on this for someone in agriculture I think would be a wonderful advantage, because I was able to take some really cool photos of some insects really easily as I walked around, and I've actually set up the camera to open with a long click of this orange button, and you can take photos using the volume controls. Really super easy. It's hooked me. Let's go take some more insect photos. Now apparently this thing's also IP69, who comes up with these numbers, rated, and that means that it's dust and waterproof. We've got some dust there. Let's find out about that. Well, they said it was rugged. There it is. Well, it's still working, but it's a bit dirty. We better go clean it. This should get the dirt off. Yeah, it's a bit better. Still a bit dirty, I know. That's better, and it's still working. Look at that. The only hassle I've got after washing it is the screen's still wet, so it's having trouble loading some of the apps and others are doing okay. Do you follow me on Instagram? Make sure you do. Okay, verdict time. Would I get one of these? Yes. Having a really big screen, lightweight, the ability to put 2 SIM cards into this and operate it as 2 phones without having to do the whole dual SIM thing through a carrier, which never works. Having the ability to put an SD card into this and record extra footage on your phone without having to worry about running out of memory. Having the shock absorbent mount around the outside and IP69K ingress protection, meaning that you can hose it down with a pressure washer, dump it in a creek and walk over it in a pit of mud, means that this phone should stand up to the normal rigours of agriculture and the outdoors. And for under 300 bucks, which is what they were when I checked, you can't go wrong. You can break 4 of these and still not be up to an iPhone. So as an iPhone user, coming across to an Android platform didn't give me a problem. I'm really impressed with the phone. It's got a great camera, love the macro shots. Yeah, I'd get one. Guys, if you like these kind of reviews, don't forget, hit the subscribe button, give it a thumbs up. Plenty more on timthompson.ag, and I'll catch you with something else next week.